Hi, Awakened One. This is Rainy Maida Chang, spiritual teacher, ascension guide, and Akashic Record consultant. And I wanted to talk to you today about something that I've been hearing a lot about. Have you ever felt like you want to do something in your life, or you feel as if there's something you are really excited to do, but when push comes to shove in the moment of actually going forward and doing the action, you feel like there's something holding you back? This imaginary line of a block or something that you just can't get past to get to that next step. That may be something called an energetic block. Now, there are many different types of blocks, and I wanted to talk about that today with you. But first things first is a block can be in your auric field. And what is your auric field? So your auric field is that field that's around your physical body. It's about 8 feet wide around your whole body, and it encompasses your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual energy bodies around your physical body. Now, if there is a block that you have, there are a couple different blocks out there, which I'm going to explain, then you can have those blocks in either one of these energetic bodies. It could be in your physical, it could be in your mental, it could be in your emotional, it could be in the spiritual, it could be in all of them. So, what are the blocks that we may have? There can be blocks from your past lives, your alternate lives, your concurrent bleed through lives, which typically result in trauma, something that's happened that is presenting to you in this life like pain. That is one block. I'm going to give a little story about that in a little bit, but that's one of the blocks. There can be unproductive attachments, blocks in our body where we have feelings like shame, fear, judgment, and the higher vibration emotions like love and harmony and peace. Those higher vibrations the person may or may not like, and they will dislike them, but they will really lean towards the lower vibrations, as I mentioned, of fear and shame, judgment. There can also be some addictions for that person that they are utilizing in their life, which then causes them to have those lower vibration emotions be expanded and be on a regular basis in their body. There can be some identity and core wound blocks, which can be amplified by our genetics, which come into our life right now, which need to be healed. And those can present like many different ways. There are many wounds out there, like rejection wound, abandonment wound, jealousy wound, a shame wound, a worthlessness wound, where when we look at the true identity of the self and find these wounds, we can work on healing and clearing them to help us not feel those lower vibration emotions that tend to stay within our energetic field. Another thing that could be blocking you are some beliefs, limiting beliefs that they're called, that, for example, this always happens to me, or I'm always experiencing this. There can also be fears that are deep within our energetic system that we really may not be aware of, but they're just so deep that they are affecting your everyday life. And then there could be the physical blocks. That's something in your physical body that's just blocking you, and it could be in your physical energetic field. Now, these blocks all can be in different parts of your energetic field, but typically if you have a block in your physical, for example, you have something that's presenting to you, an ailment, a sickness, a pain, and you keep going to the massage therapist, or you keep going to physical therapy, or you keep working through, and it just is present, that is most likely something that is pretty big, that's not just in your physical auric field. It could be in another one, like your mental or your emotional. And what's really important about these blocks, and I'm being very, very general here because there's a lot of information out there and there's a lot to learn about blocks. But the most important thing is to recognize, well, hey, I think I might have a block. I think there might be something in me that is causing me to not live my life fully and freely. And let me get to the bottom of that. I said I would share a story before, so I am going to share a quick story about my personal experience. I, from a very young age, had a lot of tension and stress in my neck and shoulders and my upper back. Now, I'm talking about from when I was 14, and y'all don't need to know how old I am now, but it's been a many decades of time that I have presented with this constant physical pain. And I just became used to it for years and years and years. I was a regular at getting massages. I eventually started looking in the more holistic component of craniosacral therapy and Reiki, and everything would relieve the symptoms, the pain, for a brief period of time. It wasn't until I started doing energy work and work in the Akashic Records where I realized where my pain was from. I was a healer in a past life, and I had a very traumatic death where I was decapitated. Yes. Saying it out loud and sharing it with the world is one thing here. But yes, and it was very traumatic. And that pain has followed me into this life. And I have chosen in this life, when my soul came down, I said, I'm going to work through all that I need to work through. And that is something that I eventually recognized and realized, oh my gosh, massages aren't going to get this out. I have to go and do the deep, deep internal work about releasing this pain and learning the lessons of why I carried it on into this life and what lessons that I had to learn. There can be other things and other blocks that, as I mentioned before, could be affecting you in this life. And we want to try to address it. So I'm going to give you some simple tips. Number one is meditation. When you still your mind and you do some breath work and you really get into a nice calm level, and when I say meditation and breath work, you can do a guided meditation. You can just do listening to chimes and chants and calming your body and doing breath. That can help you find a very calm mindset. When you do that and you get into a mindset that's nice and quiet and calm, you can ask your guides, where is this block? What is this block? And can you please help me work through it? Your angels, your spirit guides, they don't want you to have physical pain. They don't want you to have this emotional or mental issues that you have that's blocking you from going to the next step. Because the truth is, this block is showing you a lesson that you are to learn. And I know it's going to sound crazy when I say that these blocks are actually gifts for us because it's showing up for us to realize, oh my gosh, I really got to address this because this is really not helping me. It's not helping me be in my highest and greatest good in this life. So you really want to find out what the block is to learn the lesson that you are to learn. Once you find out what the block is, you can then do some energy tapping where, again, you use two fingers and you put it on one of the chakras in your body, and you can ask, what chakra, universe, angels, what one should I be putting the energy tapping in? It could be your heart chakra, it could be your throat chakra, it could be your third eye, your crown, it could go down into your belly, solar plexus, which is right at the bottom of your ribs, at the center of your body. You can do some energy tapping to help release what is stuck in your body. Energy tapping is so powerful because without knowing, you might say, okay, for example, if there's someone that has something with fear, they can say, okay, I'm releasing the fear in my body across all time, all space, all dimension, and all reality. And as you're tapping, you can continue to say, I'm releasing fear. I'm releasing fear. And you might hear other things that you want to release, like I'm releasing fear of showing the world who I am, or I'm releasing fear of being judged, or I'm releasing the fear of not knowing who I am, or being afraid of who I am. All these details, this information can come up to you from your guides because they want to help you. So that's another thing you can do, which is energy tapping. And the third thing you can do is you can always find someone out there in the world to help you on your journey. A healer, an energy healer, an Akashic Record consultant, someone that can help you identify what these blocks are if you're having trouble doing it on your own, and to help you work together to clear and release the blocks that aren't serving you. No matter what, we are all here on this earth to learn and grow. If you choose to come down to the earth on your next life, then you may not have to deal with these blocks that you have in this life because you've addressed them already. So that is the hope, is that we can clear and release what we don't need so that it can be gone, that we can say, okay, I've addressed that. Let me move on. Like me getting my cut off, I address that because I don't want to deal with that in another life. And I don't want to continue to deal with that physical, emotional, and mental pain in this life. I'm here for you. If you are on a spiritual awakening journey and you would like some more tips and tools, please check out the spiritualawakeningkit.com. I'll put it in the description box below. I'm sending you so much love. Please like, share, comment. I'd love to know where you are on your path. If there's any stories or experiences you want to share, I'd love to hear about it. And until next time, see you then.